Hi guys. So this is my first video. I am doing this to start my journey of opening an Etsy store, having a small business, and I started a mentorship last week, and he suggested that I do this to get a face on my business here. And also, I follow Sandy's Organized Chaos, and she has kind of made this seem a little bit more doable. And so, also, I know that a lot of people get nervous when they are going to start something new. And so, I decided to bring them along with me as I do that for myself. So, a little bit about me. I'm 45, I'm a registered nurse. And I've decided to, and I just kicked my tripod because clearly I'm a professional. And it's also taped to a box full of K-cups. Um, anyways, as a person, I basically live my life to help others. But in nursing, I don't know, these days, obviously, it's been kind of a challenge. And also, um, last year, my mother-in-law, who I was very close to, passed away. And after heart transplant that we waited for a long time and really thought that it was going to be the beginning of, a new chapter. And it did not go well, and we lost her. And she lived her life to the absolute fullest. So through going through that, I kind of realized that if I don't want to have to work holidays anymore for the rest of my life, if I don't want to, be a slave to the grind, then I can do something that I want to do. And so that's what I'm going to do. So professionally, I'm kind of a lifelong student. I have a bachelor's in sociology, which is what I did the first time I went around to school when I was 18 in the early 90s. And then I worked as a counselor at a home for juvenile sex offenders for 10 years. Then I got burnt out on that. I went to nursing school, and I've been working as a nurse for the last 10 years. But then in the midst of that, I decided to get my master's in education. And right now I do some training of new nurses at work. I was a supervisor there for a year and a half, hated it, not the management type. Anyways, I'm at a place in my life right now where I want to focus on a job that I like. So I decided in January to learn pottery and make a living off of that. Not a real living, I guess a side hustle. So I took a pottery class and bought a wheel and a secondhand kiln, and which turned out to be a disaster. But I spent many hours learning how to make pottery, mostly mugs, and eventually purchased a new, more, oh my gosh, my kid's outside walking the dog, scared the crap out of me. Where was I? Oh, so I started, I found a small new kiln that I'm actually waiting to get hooked up because the electricians are so backlogged with COVID about going into personal homes to hook things up. But it'll be plenty for what I'm going to use it for. So I started thinking to myself, how can I make this into a business? And so part of that is trying to figure out a name for your business that means something to you. And, it's not a quick thing. It's not just like, I want to start a business. Okay, this is what the name is. I think that you should look at yourself, look at some of your qualities that you like about yourself, and maybe a challenge that you've overcome, or something about the state that you live in, something that you think is going to set you aside from everybody else. And so I, went back and forth. I had played around with a couple different names. And then as I moved forward, and the pottery thing was kind of put on hold because I can't get my kiln hooked up, and I have, 50 or 75 mugs that are dried, ready to fire, and I don't have anywhere to fire them. I thought, well, what else can I do? Because this is really therapeutic for me, and I'm enjoying it, and maybe I can make some money off of it. So then I started dabbling in the world of epoxy tumblers and had a retiring coworker. So I thought, I wonder if I can do something for her that has something to do with something that she likes. And she loves cruises, loves traveling, so she loves the beach. So I was able to use real sand from Maine that a friend brought back, and I was making her a cup to do with her vacation, and I thought, oh my gosh, I can use a little bit of this to make this other cup. And so one of my first cups was a beach tumbler that has real sand on it, and it came out great. I couldn't have asked for it to come out any better than it did. And I kind of thought, oh wow, I'm really good at this. My OCD, as far as, you know, having things a certain way and my attention to detail, this is kind of a cool outlet for that. So, and she loved it. And then I had watched another video, and I should have written down whose video it was, but it was a quite long live stream. I didn't see the live stream, but I watched the video after the fact about, you know, good ways to get your name out there when you're starting a new business. And so, so she just basically said, you know, start making your practice tumblers at the beginning for people that you know, people that you work with. And so I did. So I happened to be working a shift at work, and there were 4 girls working. And I said, all right, guys, I have to do some homework here. I am trying to get this business off the ground, but I know that my mind only thinks a certain way. So what would you each like? I'm going to make each of the 4 of you a cup that has to do with who you are or something that you're interested in. And so each of the 4 girls had something different that I would have never thought of. And it gave me an opportunity to think outside the box. And then something that I didn't even realize was going to happen is once I gifted these cups to these people, people saw them and were like, well, where did you get that cup? I want one. And so my first paying sale was actually the girl that I worked with. I made her a cup, and she loved it so much that she bought one for her mother. And so inadvertently, I made my first sale. And so, you know, at this point, I'm really just making them for people that mean something to me, or that I am friends with, or friends of friends. And I have sold a couple, but at this point, I'm just kind of in the homework stages, and I kicked my tripod again because, again, I'm a professional YouTuber. So basically then, and as I was making cups for people that have inspired me in some way or mean something to me, I got a hold of Chad at Team Floppy Ears. I've followed him for years. There have been days when I've been really in the dumps, and, you know, he put a smile on my face. And so I got a hold of him, and I said, hey, you know, I really want to make you a tumbler that represents you as a person. And, you know, red, white, and blue, you know, team captain all the way. And so he saw the cup. I sent him pictures as I was making it, and it meant something to him. And he thought, you know what, I think I could coach her and help her with her small business. And so last week I started a mentorship with him to help me kind of brainstorm and like get my mind to think like a businesswoman instead of, you know, a nurse or somebody who's just doing a craft. You can make money off of those kinds of things, and promote your business, and you know, use that as a time to think outside of the box in a way that you normally wouldn't. And so that really inspired me because you know, we did a Zoom call. We kind of talked about like, what can I do with this? How can I make this something that I can make money off of? Which really, in all honesty, I'm thinking, you know, farmers markets and holiday craft fairs to begin with, but then the more I looked at it, people are doing this for an actual living, and they're making a decent amount of money off of it. So, so that kind of got me excited. And, you know, I've been watching different people on YouTube that do something similar, or they've started an Etsy channel, or they've started a small business. And I know that I can do that. I'm super organized, attentive to detail. It's a little scary. It's always scary doing something new. And so knowing that, and knowing that the videos from Sandy's Organized Chaos have helped me, I'm going to try to put things out there like that are going to help other people. So basically, this is just who I am. This is what I'm going to do. I live in Vermont. So I'm going to work some of that, you know, the Vermont scenery into my tumblers in the fall. I'm figuring out how to do water slide decals, and very cool, but I made a mistake last night. I screwed up my first one, and so I'm hoping to be able to get the rigging to videotape certain things, whether it's just simply epoxying a cup, adding glitter, making a beach cup, things like that, or you know, using my Cricut, making different decals, how to layer things well, you know, lining them up properly, and working with an Etsy store, or taking pictures of your items that you're trying to sell in a way that are going to make them appealing, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take you guys along. I'm going to try to motivate and inspire you. I've had a couple girlfriends say, you know, this is really inspiring what you're doing, that you're, you know, taking on this new adventure. And it is scary, but at the same time, you know, I'm ready to be my own boss and spend more time with my family and my chickens and my dog and, you know, at home. And so, so I'm hoping that this video somehow sparks interest in you, or you find me interesting in some way, and you want to come along on my journey. So let's go.